Welcome back to Bennington. Chris from Brooklyn's here in studio.
Wait a minute, what's his new name?
Funny Chris?
Funny Chris is here. Out of the two Chris's, it's the funny one.
Chris is performing with Dave Smith this Friday in Philly at the White Bull Tavern as part of Hideout Comedy. Go to eventbrite.com for tickets, and High Society Radio is available now on Apple Podcasts and GasDigitalNetwork.com.
You're on there too.
As am I.
Yeah.
What you didn't want to say?
I am. This is my co-host and my life partner. We're
Co-host
co-hosts.
of the show. You're the co-host.
Yeah.
Look,
It's not a big deal.
Chris, you were...
Nothing wrong with that.
Look, I got 2 emails sent to me over the weekend that said, I saw Chris crush it in Buffalo. And I'm like...
It's very nice of Lewis and Zach to do that for me.
Look, neither one of those pricks would do shit for you. Just know that going into it. They never want to say that somebody blew them away. But the people who wrote to me... And I didn't know you were doing stand-up because Chris Stanley... He tries to keep you quiet. He wants to keep his worlds totally separated.
To be fair, I didn't tell him for 2 years.
Yeah. But you've been doing stand-up for how long?
4.5 years.
Chris.
Yes.
You didn't tell us.
He didn't tell me for years, so I didn't know if he wanted me telling people.
What? Why wouldn't any... Yeah. And where are you doing stand-up at?
I'm up at the comic strip sometimes, and pretty much wherever people will book me. Lewis is starting to get me on some stuff. Like me and Zach are going to be co-featuring for him on some shows.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
Dave's
really
building a tour right now, and I'll be hosting that.
I was actually bringing up with Dave because I never know where Dave works in the city. He doesn't come down to the stand. I don't see him at the cellar, and I know, he's done the special and everything, so I never know where he is. Now I'm finding out you're opening for him in Philly, but 4.5 years. These guys lie from a mission. You don't catch them in a lie. They just don't tell you the truth.
Right. Like, they'll never look at you and just straight up lie to you.
Right. But they won't tell you the truth. Because why wouldn't it come up? Dude, can you believe Chris is doing stand-up?
Yeah.
Now, you're not cooking at all anymore?
No, I haven't been doing that in a while. That soured in my mouth, and I was just like, all right, I'm going to do this thing that I wanted to do, and I'm gonna give it a shot. And
First of all, good for you.
Yeah.
It's an amazingly tough thing to chase, and the fact that you're getting work at this point is phenomenal, and I'm happy for you, and I'm proud of you. And like I said, if I hadn't heard from some listeners who were very impressed with what you're
a few
doing.
people came up to me afterwards.
Now, Chris.
Yes.
I feel like you need to represent us. You should be doing stand-up. Vito tried for a while. Quit.
Yes.
I've always wanted you guys to do stand-up.
I've never done stand-up only once for Comedy 101, and I was a prop act. I don't know if that went over.
Well, you purposely tried to do poorly. Why didn't you admit that?
Come on.
Yeah.
I photoshopped
prop.
a picture of Alex Jones. I thought that was actually good.
The problem was that you spent most of your time picking your props off the floor, and you weren't going to get a flow that way.
Yeah.
You got to have a table or a bag.
Yeah, you need a trunk.
Yeah.
I had an old Samsonite suitcase.
You did prop comedy for something that was going to air on the radio. So
Yes.
that was also...
That's what I
that's
wasn't thinking of.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, you should have just came out
You
with
had
like
to just-
funny sound effects album.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I mean, didn't Jeff Dunham's album just go like platinum somehow?
Jeff has a magic to him. There's those puppets, they don't look real.
No.
And I see his lips move, and yet it doesn't bother anybody.
Not at all, no.
Well, good for you. Now, you were up in Buffalo, right?
That was actually it was the test for my girlfriend was like, oh, you're really gonna do this because she knows I hate being on a plane, I hate being on a bus, and I took a train with Zach Amico all the way up there, did 2 shows, passed out for a few hours, and came back. I was like, well, this is the test. If I'm actually gonna try to do this, if I can do the thing that makes me the most miserable and sit on a train for 16 hours in 2 days.
Now, nobody likes travel.
No.
No one likes travel. I despise travel. And yet, if you want to do this, you have to travel.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. And the way to break into it is travel almost constantly.
Yeah, I think that's the only way because I mean in New York
New York is the
10,000
workout.
guys.
Yeah, New York is the workout.
But there's 10,000 guys. I feel like if you're dealing with Sunday through Wednesday, there's more people trying to do stand up than watch it.
Yeah, that's well, the funny thing is the time to go and hang down at the cellar is up until Wednesday night. You know what I mean? Then I see everybody. It's a fun night. The weekend, it's the 5 guys working and the fucking music playing.
Right.
You know? It's a nightmare for me. But the hangout during the week is a lot of fun. So you're thinking about going, just planes, trains, and automobiles, getting out there.
Whatever I can get. I mean, I'm giving it a shot.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's the real thing. And yeah, it's funny. It's just starting to build. And it's like, I didn't tell him. I didn't tell any of the Gas Digital guys until I started getting booked on stuff with them. Because I just see all these interns come in. And they just are like, hey, guys, I do this too. And they've been doing it for a year. And then, Big J's not going to take you seriously if you're going to come in and say you're a comic and you've been doing 13 open mics.
But from what I understand, you're coming down to Houston for...
I am coming to, Skankfest South.
Oh, that's so great.
Are you doing stand-up there?
I should be doing a few spots, probably in one of the smaller rooms. But
That's
I'm going to be...
fantastic. That's a really cool fucking thing for you to be doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at Chris.
Yeah.
You're doing the fucking what? The Warriors of Catan?
The Settlers of Catan. There's a tournament coming up February
No, you're aware
16th.
that he does this. He's considered one of the best in the country now.
Are you really?
Look, I know I'm going into this fucking tournament and I'm going to fucking win, and then they're going to send me to Columbus, Ohio with a $300 stipend for room and board, and I'm going to fucking go win the United States
I
Championship.
feel like I assume with room there's board.
Yeah.
Continental breakfast.
Yeah.
That's just my thought.
What board? You going to a boarding house?
I mean, that's the only thing I'll be able to fucking afford with $300. I mean, it's
the
a
only
weekend.
It's the only way his girlfriend could get him to go to an intervention. She told him it was a board game convention.
Come on.
You feel like he needs one now? Because he's been really bad lately with blacking out and shit. And you don't remember conversations you had.
Because for a while I wasn't blacking out, right? So I was like, had it under control, but now it's recent months.
No one has control over black. They just happen. No one plans on a blackout.
It's a surprise.
You can't plan not to have a blackout. They just happen.
Well, you lost a bunch of weight recently, right?
I don't know,
ton of
maybe.
weight.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't changed
definitely-
anything.
No, you definitely
You are.
have.
You're just not saying.
Look, maybe my shirts are bigger on me, and now I maybe look ridiculous. But I don't know what I've done, but it is working.
Why is he taking it to the negative? You're
It's
working
just the
out,
foie
you're
gras,
Just
man.
say what you're
Yeah.
eating. What
What are you
have
doing
You
different?
cut something out?
Well, I still go to Chipotle, but I don't get a burrito. I get a bowl of food.
So you're doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'll try a bowl one day.
Are you?
But
cut
why
out
won't he say
breads?
the truth? It's so difficult for you guys to say, look, I'm watching what I'm eating.
One day at the Chipotle line, I realized I'm the only person ordering a burrito, and I felt weird about that. Everyone else was getting their bowl of fucking beans and chicken.
There's something about this story that's not. I think he's organized, losing weight, and that's fine as
Are
healthy.
you
You're trying
on
to be
a
Vito.
regimen?
I'm not on any regimen. I don't exercise.
Why don't you have Vito train you?
I
look at how
don't want to
good
be
he did.
trained.
Yeah, Vito looks pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, right?
I haven't
mean, he's a
noticed any
different
weight
person.
loss in him.
Now,
Everyone
what
does.
else are you doing besides your burrito change?
I mean, I try to not drink during the week. That doesn't.
And that's for weight purposes, nothing else.
I mean, probably shouldn't drink every day. Also, that's probably a good thing. Not drink like a 6-pack at home at night or a fucking pint of whiskey.
Can I just say
Yes,
this?
Ron.
When your head shakes like that, you're lying.
I'm not lying.
Yeah,
I'm not
you ever
drinking
notice
during
that,
the
Chris?
week.
His head is bobbing.
Yeah.
Like,
And then he's kind of like
Yeah.
his whole body's going like this.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
yeah.
And he does that.
I wish I was a fucking cop right now. I'd go through his pockets. Chris, I want you to give him your kind of stand-up confidence that you have.
Okay.
Now, who are comics that you like? That you're like, hey, I want to be like that person when you came in.
I mean, when I first started,
Yeah.
Colin Quinn and Patrice were always my
Yeah.
favorites. Now,
You're done with those assholes.
I mean, it changes over time.
Yeah.
Different people you just like, you know what I mean? I didn't know. I'd only seen Jay host before that, and now he's like, I've seen him so many times do time. I love him and Soda are great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's his guys.
That's smart. Pick the guys from the fucking thing. And,
Well, the guys I'm around that I see a lot.
But also, like, they're going to bring me down for Skankfest, too.
Sure. I was like Gary Goldman. I can't do that, but he's fantastic.
You're a little too depressing.
Too sad.
Yeah.
I just,
You
I
like a
don't,
pick me up.
yeah, I like somebody who doesn't end up going into the nut hut. You know what I mean? I like a little more positive thinking on purpose. Speaking of which, have you guys watched Jenny Hutt on Instagram? She's just hanging on. She's like, all right, I'm walking. You know what I mean? You can change your mind just through walking.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's constant. It's like every day she's trying to be positive. Yeah, stories.
Does she not work here anymore?
She looks okay
Yeah,
there.
she's-
Go to the next one. I like her when she's really looking back.
This one.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to the start.
like sort of one of my mottos. And I wear pretty much the same thing every day. I wear hardtail leggings and like a Fruit of the Loom tank top. Doesn't have to be fancy. I have multiples of everything. And I know there's like athleisure wear and people are all fashiony in what they wear when they exercise. I gotta be comfortable. It's cotton, it's Lycra, and that's
Keep
it.
going.
So
I like it when she's
if you don't like your
keep
exercise
it together.
when you move throughout the day. And again, if you don't have time to exercise all at once, that's okay too. Even in your work clothes, you can every hour walk for 5 minutes. Just take a walk for 5 minutes, it counts. 5 minutes over 5 hours is 25. It's amazing. So, get up, get out, do your thing. Jump in place, march in place, dance. Just go up and down your stairs a bunch of times. Just move. I promise you'll have a better day. I know it. All right, I'm finishing mine up. Thank goodness. This one was hard today. After being up late and the caucus stuff. Oy. I'm live today, of course, and be sure to tune in. I'll tell you who's on in a
I like her when I know she's having a bad day. She's like, this makes me feel better. It doesn't.
I like it with just her mother's little helper vibes.
Yeah, it really is like that.
Look, there she's exercising while she's doing her roots at the same time.
Good.
Look, I
Look how
found my,
thin she's got, though.
I know, she's teeny.
Yeah.
She's so teeny.
It seems like an earlier version of the diet pills grandma from Requiem for a Dream, right?
Exactly right. You know, she's just going to become that woman at the end where she thinks she's on a fucking game show. Now, the thing is, I like some of the early morning stuff. She eats a big breakfast and then we watch her throw it up. Let's get that poison out of our bodies. Let's get rid of those donuts and those pancakes. Chris is really watching what he's eating.
Yeah.
Good for you, Chris.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm trying to just not be as drunk and eat as many carbs.
That's good.
Well, you didn't say that at first, but I'm glad that you say
I think that's what's in a tortilla, right? A carb? That's what
Don't act like you're stupid. You're
in a
smart. You're a fucking college graduate.
That's right.
Don't be embarrassed that
built
you're
a
trying to do
computer
better.
once.
Yeah.
You could be funny, Chris, one day.
One day. Try.
know. Probably
Fail
not.
most of the time.
Yeah.
Would you do some stand-up?
I mean, I don't have any material, Ron.
Come to Skankfest.
Come to Skankfest and just fucking riff.
Go to Skankfest, dude.
Can I just tell you something? To me, only gays write material. It's not for straight guys. Gays plan.
That's why Goldman was so depressed.
Yes. Exactly. Couldn't be himself. Earl, would you ever consider doing stand-up? You're a funny guy.
I would give it a shot. I don't know
What
if
about the prank stuff that you do? Like when you act like we're back from break or we're not back from break? It was a fucking, seriously.
That was not a prank, but
That was
hey,
like watching a kid fall down an elevator shaft in the Bronx.
yeah, that was not a good moment. But as far as stand up, I would give it a shot. Why not?
I had to, one of the people on BL's show was born up in like Harlem and was telling me about being a kid and all that. And I had to explain to him how white it was now. I go, everything that you remember? He's
gone.
like, and they're like, what do those townhouses go for, like $1 million a piece now? I'm like,
my
$1
God.
million?
No.
What?
You couldn't fucking touch anything for like under 12.
Yeah. Yeah, those
Down
are
in Florida,
ridiculous.
$1 million is still rich.
Yeah.
Like we have $1 million, our family, and they feel like they're rich. Our family never has to work again. We've got $1 million. New York can fucking poison you on everything. You know?
Yeah.
Is that why you're afraid to say that you're dieting and exercising?
I'm not
Why don't
exercising.
you
Culture
go
of
on
New
and
York.
just fucking walk 5 minutes? If you
Yeah.
give me 5 minutes every hour, 24 hours a day.
How about this? Let me see your steps for the day. Let me see your
Let's
step
see.
counter.
Let's see your tits.
I'll take it off. Step counter is 4,000 steps.
Ooh,
To just
God.
today?
This
That's just
late?
today.
Where the hell were you walking?
That's terrible.
I walk to the train and I walk here. I also had to go
I'm
down
already
to 30.
10,000 steps
Oh,
for today.
congratulations.
A lot of times I hit it earlier, but yeah.
I don't know if mine's right. It says 1.5 million.
Wow. It's really
Oh
good.
no, I'm sorry. It's 1.5. That's a little bit further than I wanted to walk. I like to just be pushed around in this chair.
Should count.
Chris, you guys do the High Society Radio. What's been some of the recent topics? And have you two ever had a big disagreement about anything?
Not on the air.
just off the air.
Yeah. We've been friends for 20 years.
A big topic recently has been, remember Paperface, also from Comedy 101?
Yes,
Oh, I love
everybody
Paper
remembers.
Face.
He had a very awkward situation. Involving,
I saw the promoter from the show this morning.
So Chris will tell you that because Paperface told Chris about there was something very awkward happening with Paperface during a Kobe Bryant tribute.
Yeah, so he did a show with Surf School Recordings at SOB's downtown in Manhattan. His first show he's done in a long time. He just had a kid, so he's just getting back out to do his stuff. And so he gets on this show with this dude, Rico, and apparently he ate a bunch of weed edibles in the green room, which isn't smart if you walk around in a mask like an idiot.
It's not smart anyway before a show.
So he's wearing this big box on his head that he wears for shows with like lights in it and stuff. And he's like, I just assumed they were having technical difficulties because I didn't hear anything. And he just started rapping random. He said I started freestyling about Pokemon Go, and it was a moment of silence for Kobe Bryant, Nipsey Hussle, and all of these guys' friends, Chinks Drugs, who died a few years ago.
Oh my God!
So he's sitting there with all these like big name rappers who could kick the shit out of him whenever they want, and they're just like, you're just rapping over our friend's tribute.
And people are taking video of it. I had no idea why.
Oh my God.
But I saw the guy who promoted the show today, and he goes to me, yeah, we were all really mad, and then afterwards we were all just sitting around drinking, like, actually, that's pretty fucking funny.
It is funny. I mean, I get in the moment that
You know
you're
he
mad.
can't see me from in there.
All right, a lot of people are sending me this. Ari Shaffir Jew, they have pulled out of his taping, and they're returning money. He had 4
Wow.
sold-out shows to the Skirball. 4 sold-out
Jesus.
shows. Ari
This is
Shaffir-
Netflix?
I don't know who's behind it. It might be just a production company called Rotten Science. But I guess enough people complained to them that, and it isn't just. I mean, he said some stuff about Tom Petty. I'm like, I'm gonna get him some. I mean, it's gonna take years.
I didn't
said.
care for that Aretha comment
Yeah,
either.
the Aretha I got.
Oh,
The Tom Petty I did not get at all. Did Tom Petty and Prince die at the same time, or was it?
right? No, well, Prince and Bowie were very close. I know
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
I
very
felt like
close.
Prince, Bowie, and
It went Bowie, Prince, and Petty in that order, I believe.
all right, let's
But I
get to the
think
bottom.
Bowie
of this.
and Prince were closer.
Right.
I always got it.
Bowie and Prince were the same year. Petty was in the fall of 2017.
Falls are in the same year, though.
Yeah. So was it all 2017?
I believe Prince and Bowie were 2016.
Yeah.
So it's 3 fucking people we lost that are irreplaceable.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Irreplaceable. I was looking at some Prince stuff the other day. Well, they went back over, I'm watching the classic Super Bowls, and they showed the fucking Prince halftime.
Oh God, that was
So-
unbelievable.
Prince
The
is
hologram?
yeah. They're so fucking weirded out that it's raining. It never rained for a Super Bowl, and here it's going to rain. And they called Prince up, and they're like, Prince, it's going to be raining when you go out there. And he goes like this. Can you make it rain harder? That's the Prince way of doing it. And he came out. Remember that weird wrap he had around his head? It's like a do-rag, but backwards.
It's like a little turban.
Yeah, but was like kind of open at
Yeah.
the top, and he just fucking crushes it.
So good. It's like one of my favorite
Performances.
Super Bowl memories, as I was with all of my friends, and we were just like, this is unbelievable. He was so unbelievable.
Yeah, he's just the fucking best. And now I guess people forgot about it because Shakira and J-Lo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
became the new it.
Oh, baby,
thing.
when you talk like that.
That became the new high water park. We don't need to. That's okay. Because you try to, it's got to be visually picked up on.
I know.
Anybody could put on the record, but the visuals of this thing, of just pouring rain and him coming out and not giving a fuck. And now he's gone?
It doesn't make sense.
And-
That really didn't make any fucking sense. I think.
Yeah.
He was Oxycontin'd up. Him and Petty went out the same way.
I think it was the first time I heard of fentanyl patches because they said it wasn't just oxys. It was also like he was being sold patches by this fucking doctor.
You never heard of patches before?
No, I hadn't heard of him before.
It surprises me because I always thought you were hip. This is the first time I'm like, oh, what a square.
A real square.
Well, if you just combine the fentanyl patch with the nicotine patch, it's a low-effort speedball, you know?
That's literally it's the same process as the nicotine patch. They have patches for all kinds of medication now. But the whole point of that was to slowly release it, you know, so you don't get hit at the same time. But, you know, you're doing that and eating pills and probably fucking snowcapping a little bit of coke on the end of your Marlboro, you know? And Petty went out the same way. Fucking opiates. These guys, stay awake. That's my little fucking helpful hint.
It's sound advice.
Life hack.
Yeah.
Stay awake and you will live. Drift off and you could die because you literally forget to breathe.
Yeah. That's pretty much the most important thing about being a human.
One of them.
Keep breathing.
The other is friendship. You know what I mean?
Those two things. You can't live without.
Yeah. And this whole thing that Chris has figured out about carbs and gluten. How much weight you lost? You know exactly how much.
I don't know the scale.
All right, then you know the size pants, you know, belt loops. What are you going
I'm
by?
down 1 belt loop.
Wow.
I think it's more.
Now, are you using the ones that came with the belt yet, or are you still?
The ones he cut in with his knife. His mom cut it in before he went to school. Here, it's fine. I got a butcher knife.
Funny Chris, a.k.a. Chris from Brooklyn's in studio. He's performing with Dave Smith this Friday in Philly at the White Bull Tavern. Go to eventbrite.com for
Boston.
tickets.
It's Philly on the 21st.
Philly on the 21st.
Come on, dude. You got to get this together.
And then High Society Radio is available on Apple Podcasts at gasdigitalnetwork.com. And Chris is the backstage reporter for Capital Wrestling, which you can watch on fight.tv.
Now, how's that work? Your
Capital
reporter?
Wrestling?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just the mean Gene Okerlund. They just stick me in the back with the guys. It's a really fun gig. They put on a better show than they should for like a small indie company from Jersey. And I think Matt Ryan, who was an intern for you years ago, is he's one of the bookers there. And he's figured out a bunch of his Fight TV. We're on Tubi, the Fight Network in Canada, like a bunch of different places, and he's just figured out how to get it done.
That's fun. You know what I mean? I did Florida wrestling many, many years ago when I first started. And the funny thing about that was all regional, but good guys would come like from Texas, but when they got to Florida, they were bad. Like, I hate Florida. I mean, I was like, why? Just got here. You know, and then when the Florida guys would go there, they would be bad in Texas. Now, no one is good or bad. It's kind of sad to me. I really did like the traditional of face and heel. You know what I mean? Because now, why would anybody trust anybody? You know what I mean? There's no alliances.
It's all gray area.
Yeah, and there's not the excitement of a turn.
Right. There used to be the biggest thing.
He's good now. Oh, my God.
I remember when Mach, he signaled the turn with Hulk Hogan for a full year before he did it. You know, something would happen, he would just turn around and look at Hogan.
Like bump into
they
each
were
other.
like, oh, 2 months later, he would just do it again. I was like, he's going to.
Those guys.
And then, you know, at the 12th month, he fucking hit him, and everyone's like, I know it.
We saw it coming.
I knew it.
That was a big deal for me because, you know, before that, you know, I was so little that I was like, I like good guys and bad guys are bad.
Yeah.
So if you're bad, I don't like you. And then Maj turned and you're like, now what? And you're like, I was like, I like bad guys now.
Yeah.
Okay? Are you happy, Maj? I'm now evil because I'll follow you anywhere.
That's a good fan when you do that. But, you know, they get mad or used to get mad because they're like, no, I'm doing the other thing.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Stop it.
I
Fucking
don't
up
want
my money.
kids hugging me anymore.
Now, the way they could never have you would lose your T-shirt sales when you would go bad, right? And they were pocketing money off the T-shirts. So guys would be like, "Why can't I be good for 6 months till I fucking pay off this?"
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can
I can
make a
help
car
somebody?
payment.
Yeah.
Then I'll go back to bed.
So that's what I'm not understanding with you, Chris. How do you see your life? Do you see your life as a heel or face?
I feel like I'm a face. That's how I see myself. No, it's not it.
You're a face inside, outside you're a heel.
I guess that's a troll then.
No, not at all.
I just see heel.
There's
You're a
100% heel?
Yeah.
How do you see yourself?
Face, obviously.
I'm
Are you kidding?
100% heel. Never
Yeah.
been a face. Don't want to be a face. Earl thinks he's a face.
No, he's a heel.
Here's what he is. He's like a face who hangs around with a heel. He gets all the fucking benefits from being a fucking heel.
Gotcha.
But he still gets a T-shirt sales.
But he still gets the T-shirt sales. Like, Earl basically looks like he should be with the $1 Million Man. Where
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, and everyone's yelling, "You're too good for him, Earl."
He treats you like a
When we did our wrestling down there, when I used to manage the ladies champion of Florida, we were always heel. We never went face.
Yeah.
Didn't like the idea of face. Managed a little bit face on TV, and I hated it.
right.
Despised it.
How do you play it?
It was like, well, we're going to do the best we can. You know what I
that
mean? It's a
sucks.
great community. You're right. It's really, really bad. But when you're the heel, you can wear sunglasses at night.
What if you're like, I don't know how to play this gimmick,
Yeah.
so you just started doing like Hogan shit? You're just taking his stuff.
Yeah.
This is the only way I know how to be.
They would be furious.
Yeah, that would be the best.
I remember, you ever like seeing stand up where a fucking headliner like, hey, don't do anything about oatmeal because I do an oatmeal bit. Those guys will come in and be like, don't do any fucking this because I do a diamond cutter. And they would try to, from the early stage guys, cut out like 90% of their fucking holds and move.
Wow.
Because they're like, I do something very similar. You're like, of course you do.
Yeah.
It's fucking wrestling. You can't go to boxing. Don't jab.
Yeah.
And they would be fucking serious as shit. The guys would always be fucking freaked out about it. Oh, I don't know. I'd like to get Earl in the ring. I feel like Earl would be a good wrestler.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm pretty agile for my
I
age.
think you'd look good in the spandex.
For your age. The fact you're alive makes you agile for your age.
Yeah, but I mean,
It all goes back to Cab Calloway. That was his in-ring music. Howdy, howdy, ho. He came walking down the ring for that. All right, and you guys know what was the first ring music used?
Oh.
I mean, I know it's the Freebirds.
It was the Freebirds. Very good call.
I don't know the song though.
Freebird.
It must have been.
They used to come in to Freebird,
Oh my
and it was
God.
as exciting as possible.
It was longer than the match.
Yeah. Now, the weird thing was, you would have thought before then, because this is the 80s.
I
The
know.
Freebirds. The
I'm
Freebirds
super-
was the first time anybody walked into
So
music.
what, you just came out dry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they, I think that they got a cease and desist. I think they had to change to their own hit, Bad Street USA, which to me wasn't as good. See if you got them walking in. Everybody, Bruno San Martino walked in. They all walked in dry. Can't find it, Chris?
I'm not finding them. I just found their intro video, but I'm not finding them walking in.
That's all right.
Hey, Jared in California. Hey, Jared.
Hey, Gail. Hey, Ronnie B.
Hey, man.
Stan, man.
Hi.
So last week, my wife and I were talking about, we were saying like, man, Ronnie's being a real dick this week. And then we found out that you talked to the witch and your Mercury was in retrograde.
Yeah. That's not true,
So,
but none of that was
what?
true. But everyone thought I was a dick because I was trying to get fucking Vito to react to the Kobe thing and stop. And, so people wrote to me and were like, "You're fucking mean to that kid. He lost somebody." I go, "It's his job to explain his loss." And, that's when he walked out on the show. So there were people mad because of that. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. It's your job when you're on the air to explain your bad feelings.
Yeah.
And it didn't get through to my team at all.
I mean, I think his Uber Blade was here to pick him up.
Yeah, that's all part of it. But so yeah, I did get complained last week.
Plus, it was Mercury in Aries. That's what we
Yeah.
decided on.
It
Not
can't-
Mercury retrograde.
Right. Mercury in retrograde only fucking deals with what? Look at her.
Technology. Or Moon in Aries, something like that.
Look at her driving
I
that
know.
little thing around.
Too
Does she even know enough about driving?
I don't think so, but she looked very confident.
Adorable. Do we break or take it to the limit,
We're
Christopher?
taking it to the limits.
Take it to the limit. But no, to answer you, Vito never came and, explained himself after that or told me anything about it. He just dropped it. I didn't grow up in a time where you could just be like, I don't feel good today. I got to be off the air. I come from a whole different background.
Yeah.
I'll explain to you how I would pick people out from the thing. Well, you kind of came up in the same thing as that, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's long, 13 years now, yeah.
Yeah, but you came up with the new school of I don't feel good enough to be on the air today, or I don't want to express myself.
That was me coming up, yeah. That's pretty. I think it was the start of it.
Yeah.
When I first came in.
Earl's old school, you know what that's like when you work with O&A and they're like, no, you gotta bleed on the air and not off the air.
Yeah, and then with the Andy W guys, that was when something really tragic happened. It was just raw. It was raw emotion. Like
they went on when John Lennon died and all that kind of stuff.
I remember listening. We had to do the tape. I had to do the tapes for the Museum of TV and Radio, and you listen to that stuff. It's all just bawling.
Of course, that was part of it. You would share that with your audience. And that's the thing that I was stunned by that day. Put it out there. You're telling us that you were the biggest Kobe fan. Explain what it feels like today. But I have to remember, I'm from a different fucking generation. What do we do? Safe? There's got to be a safe area?
Space, I think.
Yep. Safety first, I think. That's like new school way.
Yeah, I guess. All right, we're wrapping this up. I couldn't even get you guys into this conversation, but it always also works that way. Chris?
Yes.
Are you proud of Chris?
I'm so proud of Chris.
I want you all to know something. What he's done, and he did it secretly, it's not an easy thing to do, particularly now a lot of people start when they're 16, 17. Yeah. So already have one career and be like, you know what? I have this other dream. I want to go for it. It's a rare thing, and I congratulate you for it.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I think you're going to be the next Unmasked. Do you want to book that, Chris?
See Chris's availabilities. Chris from Brooklyn, a.k.a. Funny Chris. He's performing with Dave Smith this Friday in Boston at the White Bull Tavern. It's part of Hideout Comedy. Eventbrite.com for tickets. And High Society Radio is available now on Apple Podcasts and GasDigitalNetwork.com. And Chris is the backstage reporter for Capital Wrestling. You can see that at Fight.tv. And follow him on Twitter at Chris from BKLYN.
I'm going to be at Creeps Tour this weekend up in Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's a great theater. Saturday tickets are gone, so go to Friday night. You can still get some tickets for Friday night. More people go on Saturdays than on Fridays. They want to fill up their set. You know why?
Why?
Sleep in on Saturday.
Creepstour.com for those tickets. Creeps Tour.
All right, that's it for us. See you guys back in here tomorrow.